Good morning. Welcome to Monday Fun Stories. I hope you're doing well. I have a book today called Benjamin Brody's Backyard Bag. That's a tongue twister. And we're going to have Benjamin learn a little bit of a lesson about homelessness, basically. This book was copyrighted in 1991 by Phyllis Voss Wiesman and Colleen Alsberg Weisner at Faith Quest Brethren Press in Elgin, Illinois. Morning was a busy time at the Brody house. The counter was cluttered with bags filled with items the family would need for the bright summer day. "The sandwiches are ready. I'll put them in your bags," Dad called. He placed a sandwich in his paper-filled briefcase. Another was slipped in between the swimsuit and towel in Tanya's sports bag. The third was perched on top of David's saxophone case. A jar of baby food was nestled into Renee's diaper bag. Into Mom's book bag went the next to the last sandwich on the pile. "Benjamin," said Dad, "everyone has a bag but you. Until we can replace your worn-out backpack, we'll have to find another bag for you to use." He reached into the cupboard and pulled out a brown paper shopping bag. It was a nice big one with sturdy handles. He put the sandwich in and handed it to Benjamin. Benjamin took the bag, and in its emptiness, the sandwich slid from side to side. He plopped himself on the step to watch the daily parade as the family passed by. His sister Tanya went off to swim team practice with her sports bag. The large saxophone case brushed past him as his brother David ran off to music lessons. Dad ruffled Benjamin's hair lovingly with the hand that wasn't carrying his briefcase. Mother went to tell Benjamin that they would be going to the library later in the morning. She found him sitting on the steps. "What's wrong, Benji?" she asked when she saw the look on his face. "Dad's right," Benjamin answered. "Everybody does have a bag but me, and everybody's bag is filled with special things. What can you do with a paper bag? There's nothing special about it." And his mother said, "Benjamin, you have a very good imagination. You could come up with lots of ways to use that bag. It could be just as special as all the others. Why don't you start by filling it with the things you think we'll need today?" Slowly, Benjamin roamed through the house, filling up his bag. After a while, he headed for the backyard. "What can I do with a paper bag?" he thought to himself. A butterfly circled nearby. After a moment, he forgot about his task and decided to try to catch the butterfly. He looked for something to use, but the only thing nearby was his bag. "Maybe it would work," he said half out loud. Quickly, he emptied the contents of his bag and ran after the butterfly with sweeping motions. The bag did work. He caught the butterfly. After admiring his catch, he watched it fly off once again. When Benjamin sat down, he realized that he had found a use for his bag. There must be other things he could do with it too. Going through the pile of things he had emptied into the grass, Benjamin discovered the cars he had packed earlier. He laid the bag on its side to form a garage, and the cars drove in and out of the opening. He made some obstacles out of stones he found nearby. This is kind of fun." Benjamin was beginning to like his bag. As the cars were returned to the pile, Benjamin picked up a crayon. He used his stones to weigh down the corners of his bag. "Maybe I'll keep a list of the ways a bag can be used." And so lying on his stomach, he started to write. When he ran out of ideas, Benjamin found himself staring at the stones. He noticed a sparkle in one and decided to take a closer look. "I wonder how many kinds of stones there are in my backyard," he thought to himself. "It's a good thing I have a bag to hold them." Benjamin felt hungry even though it was way too early for lunch. The bag would make a good table on which to eat. He placed his sandwich on the brown paper tablecloth, and he enjoyed his picnic. Placing his empty wrapper in the bag, he headed for the garbage can. On the way, Benjamin noticed another piece of paper. "Well, there's another good use for a bag," he said as he picked up the paper. Benjamin's mother was standing on the steps when he returned from the garbage can. He hurried to tell her all the things he had done with his bag. She admired his list and said, "I'm proud of you, Benjamin. Would you like to walk to the library with me? I have a little work to do there. Afterwards, I thought we might stop at a store. Perhaps we can buy you a new backpack for school." "May I take this bag along?" Benjamin asked. "Maybe I'll find some uses to add to my list. Do you want me to carry anything for you?" He gathered his treasures, and off he went. Benjamin carried his bag proudly down the street. When they got to the mailbox, he reached in and pulled out the letter he was carrying for his mother. They passed one of his friends, and Benjamin shared a rock with him. While at the library, Benjamin entertained Renee by playing games with the bag. When they left, he put his new library books inside the bag. They walked through the park on the way to the store. As they strolled along, Benjamin became very excited. He pointed to a woman on a bench. She was sorting through a large shopping bag. "Look, Mom, she's playing the game too. Maybe she can tell me another way to use my bag. May I talk to her and see?" His mother thought for a moment, and then she agreed, and they walked toward the woman together. "Look, I have a bag just like you," Benjamin said to the surprised woman. "I've been playing games with it all day. I'm keeping a list of ways to use my bag. What do you do with yours?" The woman looked at Benjamin's mother. She seemed to be asking if it was okay to talk to the boy. Then the woman looked at Benjamin. "I use my bag to keep things in," she said. "Oh, you mean like a rock collection?" asked Benjamin. "I have one in my bag." Well, the woman said, "I collect lots of things. I collect things that people lose or throw away." "Do you like collections?" Benjamin continued. The woman took a deep breath. "I need those things to live. I use my bag to survive. I keep my food and clothes in it. It holds everything that is important to me. It holds everything that I own." The woman looked at her bag and sighed. "This bag is my home." Benjamin paused. He wasn't sure he understood what she meant. Perhaps, for some people, a bag was more than a game. As she shared more of her story, she also shared from her bag. She reached into her treasures and handed him a bright red ball. "You'll have more use for this than I will." And she thanked Benjamin for talking to her. He put the ball into his bag and took out his crayon. He had another use to add to his list, and slowly he wrote the word home. Benjamin was quiet as they continued their walk. "Mom, when I get my new bag, would it be all right if I kept the old one too? This one is a lot more special than I thought." "Isn't there a home for her someplace? Or couldn't we give her a room in our house? I didn't know there was anyone who didn't have a home." And Mother answered gently, "Benjamin, there are many people who do not have a place to live. There are many more people like the woman you met today." "But isn't there anything we can do about it?" Benjamin insisted. Mother became excited as she thought of a plan. "I think there is," she replied. "Your bag helped you discover the woman. Now it can help you figure out what to do. At dinner tonight, we can show the family your bag and the list you made on it. Then we can use the other side of the bag to make a new list. The new list could give ways in which we could help." Benjamin thought that was a wonderful idea. He started to think of ideas as they walked the rest of the way home. When they arrived at home, the family's bags were piled on the counter again, and Benjamin placed his on the top. To him, it was the most special bag of all. Why do you think Benjamin's bag was the most special? Everybody else uses theirs for a particular purpose, but Benjamin learned something that day, didn't he? He learned that some people carry all of their life's possessions in a paper bag. And that's what made his bag so very special. I wonder, how many people do you think passed by that woman that day? But Benjamin was like the Good Samaritan. He offered her conversation, and she in return gave him something to think about. I hope you enjoyed our story. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.